I just hadn't been home in days, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what, boys, listen, we are the Never Home Clique at this rate. Like, everybody that's out here is not home. Like, what are we talking about?
For anyone who's a groovers, the statement "Asifuni kulala makaya" was made about this man right here.
My days.
Which translates to, we don't sleep at home.
You know what? We gonna we about to take off. Yeah, you know what? We about to take off.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Before We Take Off. And as always, I am your host, Mufara. And today I'm joined by someone who is difficult to put into a single box. And that's exactly what's going to make this story so interesting. He's a musician, he's a photographer, he's a videographer, he's a fashion creative, he's someone who's built a reputation around creating culture rather than just simply following it. So whether it's behind the camera, behind the mic, or behind the scenes, Bby Snazzy represents a new generation of creatives who refuse to live in just one lane. Bby Snazzy, I'm going to call you Ralphie's because I be knowing you like that. Welcome to the launch pad. Welcome to the show, my bro.
Thank you so much for having me on board. I'm very excited to see, what's happening, what's popping, and, likewise. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to have you on the show and really unpack your story. I think a lot of people are going to find your story very interesting because I know you're someone who a lot of people be following, and I know you like to keep a mystery. So let's see if we can,
Yeah, I'm excited. Trying to keep the mystery. Let's unveil the mystery-ness behind, I don't know, whatever people are curious about.
Absolutely. 100%. So let's roll into it, man. Who is Bby Snazzy? Tell us from the beginning.
Absolutely. Bby Snazzy is, anything that involves creativity, they're involved, whether it's like fashion, photography, music, or even like you said in the intro, like, writing scripts and directing movies and stuff like that. It's all something that came on board from a really young age. First instrument I got was marimba. So that's essentially how music plays a role when it comes to like the whole digital side of things. It all got introduced to me when I was still young, and this is during high school days sort of thing. So,
but
that's where I'm at.
Yeah, so like peel it further back. Peel it further back. Who is the man behind Bby Snazzy? Who's Ralphie's? Who's Ralph?
Yes, of course. Ralph, legally, that's my name, of course. Originally from Zimbabwe, that's where I was born. That's where I come from, I grew up in like the blues, Victoria Falls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, I'm really trying to think really deep right now, and I can't lie. It's a crazy question you asked. What more do you need to know? What more do people need to know?
This is what I mean about the mystery, people.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Well, no, because I'm curious because I think I'm probably one of very few lucky people who get to know you on a personal level, but also see you on a professional level. So I want to unpack a little bit of that personal story. Born in Zim.
Yeah.
When did you move to Australia? Like, what was childhood like? All that. As much as you want to tell. I ain't gonna force you.
Oh no, that's cool. So, look, let's start with when did I come to Australia? So I came to this country around 2008. It definitely was 2008, not around. And, came with the whole family. Didn't know a lot, actually. I was very much introduced to a whole different world. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'd never seen this many diversified people. And back then, I also hadn't really been out in the city a lot. But, I always loved the city. Like, the city has always been a place that I want to be at 24/7. So, rocking up to Brisbane, seeing all the skyscrapers and stuff. This is the stuff that I used to see in movies. And I was like, God damn, we are in this, like, we are here right now. Like, this is so cool. And I remember the journey from Zimbabwe to Australia. It was it was me and my dad, right? Like my mom was already here. It was me and my dad, and it's my first time getting on an aeroplane. And me, I'm like, where are we going? And my dad is like, we're going to Australia. I'm like, what is Australia? That's a country?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
So we're on our way. We get on the flight. We go through Joburg, and here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, okay, we're here now, because I thought it was just like you just
Yeah. Yeah.
get your
It's
plane and
just
you land.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're there, and then suddenly my dad is like, "Oh yeah, we're about to get on another flight to go to Australia." I'm like, "We are still not in
You're still
Australia."
flying.
Yeah, legit. We get on this plane, and oh, bro, funniest thing happened to on that aeroplane. So, because it's my first time getting on an international flight, and like
Yeah.
they keep like feeding you, pampering you with food. And I remember it was, I suppose, like morning time or whatever it was. So me, I'm used to just being fed the whole time, and they gave us this little roll. I kid you not, it definitely looked like something you would eat. It
Mhm.
looked like cheese, and I'm like, bet, let me try this thing. Boy, I was trying to like chew on like a towel, basically. It's a towel to like wash your face. Yeah, I know. I didn't know. And I was trying to chew this thing, and then I look at the lady next to me, and she's like unrolling it. I'm like, oh my days. Like, oh my days.
Because how old are you? You're like 10, 9, 10 at this point?
Yeah, somewhere there. I was like 9.
Yeah.
I was 9. Yeah, man, it was a crazy experience. And then of course we arrived and started trying to make friends and stuff like that, and getting into fashion again, because I didn't bring much when I was coming here. My parents were like, "Oh, you should donate all your clothes. You don't need them." I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want my dream. But anyways, I left it. And of course, restarting, going through the whole phase of, trying to know yourself, like in terms of fashion.
Mm.
Because now I'm giving the option to pick what I want. It's like a little like, hello, welcome to Australia sort of thing. And that's when I started evolving when it comes to fashion. That's me
Yeah.
when I was little, coming here, growing up,
Yeah.
mom and dad, of course, playing a little bit of music and stuff like that. So just to wrap it up, really.
Of course. And so would you say, like, clearly it sounds like music came first into your life in terms of all the creative things that you're doing?
It's actually funny because music and photography came at around the same time. So, yeah. So, like, it all ties in together really well, and I'll try and like sort of like unwind it. So my mom is she's a fashion designer, so she designs clothes, and since I was little, she used to design a lot of my clothes. I don't know why. It's just what she enjoyed, I guess. And then on top
Yeah.
of that, my grandfather was a photographer. So my mom, being sneaky, she decided to steal his camera. And then she loves modeling. Like that's my mom. Like she is extra as hell. So she'll give me the camera to start taking photos of her, and then she'll also enjoy the process of like taking photos of like the merch that she's done. So that's how photography got into me, and I would steal that camera, go play with it with friends and stuff like that, and have fun. And then music, on I think it was my third birthday, I think it might have been, they got me like a marimba, and
Yeah.
it's the only instrument I had, so I was just playing by the ear. Trust me, I didn't know and still don't know a lot of the do re mi fa. So I'm just playing by the ear. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's basically how it intertwines, really.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like I didn't realize that those things were kind of introduced to you, I guess, so young. And it sounds like, you were always creative as a kid. Like what did discovering that creativity kind of feel like?
Man, it felt like joy, because it's something that was so unique from like, at least all the other kids. So like, being able to do something, and then they get to see that, experience what I'm trying to like, show or bring out or emphasize. It's like
Yeah.
an amazing feeling. And also being able to inspire them to, we start making drums or whatever, like just trying to make our own little guitars out of like, fishing rods. Yeah, fishing rods, like the twine and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, like
Yeah.
just creating a little band. Like it was cool. It was cool. It brought us together, it brought us closer, and we would think we're like a band or whatever, like,
Yeah. So then how did you feel navigating that creative side of yourself after you've moved countries and come to Australia and kind of started life new here?
how did I navigate with it still in
Like,
in
yeah,
a
like how did you kind of handle one, the side of having to move countries, but then to kind of still tap into your creative side?
Facts. Well, it really wasn't that difficult actually. It became a lot easier, a lot more fun, a lot more like digital. Because prior to that, everything was like it was like analog kind of cameras. Like,
Yeah,
can
yeah,
click,
yeah,
you can't see the photo for like a couple of months. Who knows? Right. You know what I'm saying? So when I got here, again, the first thing that my mom got was a camera. Why? Because she wanted to capture those moments of like, me and the family arriving in Australia. So boom, camera was already there. And
mm,
I started making like friends within my community. I feel like that's usually how it goes, right? You move to a new
yeah,
country, you connect with people within your community. And when I did, I, used to travel around with the camera a lot just to take photos in case we go to the beach. Cause, we're still new to the country. So we're always taking photos. We go to
yeah,
somebody's house, there's a camera. So the whole idea of taking photos it was already like there, but like the fact that I now had a digital camera and it was easy to take photos, I was always moving with the camera.
yeah,
It went from like doing family functions, like, oh, New Year's at this house, you know what I mean? If you want to bring a camera, come. And I'm the only kid with a camera. So I'm
yeah,
taking photos. And then as time evolved, and then, people started to call me or like, ask if I can do photo shoots for them. And that's pretty much how it truly evolved to,
yeah.
being able to work with like supermodels now, because now I just knew how to interact with different age brackets and how to be able to put them at the best angle sort of thing. So yeah,
Yeah. Because then, I guess, was there a moment that you sort of felt like, okay, let me preface what I'm about to say. Like, for as long as I've been knowing you, and I've been knowing you since we were 13, 14, like,
sure. Yeah, we go way back.
for as long as I've been knowing you, what I've appreciated about you is you're someone who is for culture. And I wouldn't necessarily say the culture because I feel like you're someone who like the culture doesn't adequately describe you. Like culture is
Yeah, yeah,
is
I feel you.
as broad as it sounds. Like that's how broad it is when it comes to you. So like that's something I've always appreciated about you. So when did you kind of realize, oh, I'm someone who creates culture around me through my talents?
Wow. That first moment would have been, oh man, that's a really crazy question. Like, I think a lot of it obviously comes from like being inspired by other creators, and
Yeah,
then being able to be like, damn, I really like the way you do this. And that's a culture of its own, like, whatever that person is doing. So
yeah,
I like to keep it diversified, really. I really do. So I feel like that's the best way to possibly answer it. But like I figured exactly what I wanted to do with photography and how I wanted to work with it and who I really wanted to, work with and like the vision where I was trying to get to with it. And once I was able to figure that out and,
yeah.
be able to execute that, everything essentially just started like unwinding on its own. That's
Right,
really yeah.
right. And I think another thing is like, sometimes in the creative lens, I know like for me as well, like as a musician, right? You're always told like pick one genre, pick one lane, all of that.
Yeah.
You
Uh.
you've done the opposite. Like you do many things. Like why is it important for you to kind of not be a musician or not be just a photographer or not be just like why is it important for you to be someone who's so multifaceted?
It is really important because it keeps you stimulated and it's gonna
Right.
consistently amplify all your other creative ideas, like you make a song, for instance, and it can be any genre, and suddenly now, you're thinking of an aesthetic for it. So think like a music video. Now you gotta
Mm,
play some kind of character. Now you gotta tell a compelling story sort of thing, and that's what I mean. It keeps amplifying certain things, and then you go on to think about fashion. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it just continuously keeps, like, going on, and, like, you're not stuck in one box sort of thing, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like, I feel like it also gives everybody I always like to inspire, like, people that are younger than me, at least, even older than me, like,
Mm,
just because this is how people look at you. You don't have to live within that. Like, just be yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever makes you happy, let that thing like keep keep rolling with it, keep amplifying yourself through it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like not being stuck in one particular niche is a great thing. It just
Yeah.
grows you with other people too.
I want to tap into something you just said about, you might be making music, and so you're now thinking of the music video and all that. So how does each, how does each of the different disciplines that you've mastered make the other stronger?
How do they make us stronger? Well, you know, creativity is all about imagination.
Mm.
So your imagination is like, I think, and this is something that like sometimes I catch myself thinking about the power of imagination. Like just think about how powerful imagination is.
Yeah.
And you make like, you know, you make a song and suddenly now you're trying to imagine things that you never even thought about. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
like that already on its own, it's, you know, it's adding so much value to it. And then for instance, now you shoot this like, you know, music video, if we're talking about shooting a music video. Before it even takes place, now you're thinking about like fashion, you're thinking of things based off what you had imagined visually. But now it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, you think about the shots and all that stuff, but now it's like, okay, the aesthetic of it. Oh my days, I can, you know what I'm saying? Now you start to look at other people's art and you start to refer back to your art and you're trying to combine everything lyrically, visually, aesthetically, and you know, it all just,
Yeah.
yeah,
But then how do you then combine all of that into an edit, right? Like, especially, let's use a music video as an example, right? So
right.
you've kind of let fashion sort of influence how you're gonna shoot it. But yeah, how does that all then come together? In your head, at least, how does it all then come together into
Yeah,
one
yeah.
polished project?
Into one polished project. It's like painting on a canvas, really. You know, you have this beautiful blank canvas, and all you're consistently doing is putting different colors to create a beautiful image. And that's the whole purpose of, you know, combining all these to create that one
Yeah.
image.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
that's what it's at.
No, I love that. I love that. When you walk into a project, like, are you thinking as an artist first, or are you thinking as a creative director? Like, what is your approach to any project?
Any project. For me, like it's more so thinking about, you know, it's a feeling. It's about
Mm,
how I want a person to feel when they're listening or viewing or watching, like or reading, for instance. You know, it's about like the feeling. So I move with the feeling. So, you know, if it's supposed to really uplift your energy and stuff like that, then I think about like kind of like a canvas.
mhm.
Okay, what should I dress as to ensure that you can feel even if you're deaf, you're watching and you're like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? You're like, yes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a feeling.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's great, and like you said, it's the way that you kinda want people to feel when they consume your art, right?
100%. Yeah, for sure.
You've built a very recognizable, let's say, you've built a very recognizable aesthetic. How long did it take you to kind of land on something for you to genuinely feel like, yeah, okay, this is my style?
Yo, you know, that's a really great question. I do wonder to myself right now, but I feel like it's been evolving for sure, but there is certain principles that, you know, kind of stay the same or consistent all the time. And I think it comes down to, you know, being comfortable within yourself, comfortability really, and accepting who you truly are. Because at the end of the day, or at least, you know, throughout the journey of life, that's actually what truly matters is, you know, being internally happy. And if you're internally happy, then you can for sure like express that. And I feel like being myself really is actually what triggers that.
Yeah, well, 'cause that's a good point, like, how much of your personal self, how much of your personal identity is reflective in your creative work?
100% of it for sure.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
it's all you.
It's all me, everything, all of it, A to Z.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I wanna talk about, I guess, where I'm leading to with all of this is your evolution, right?
Mm, mm.
Again, I've been knowing you for a long time, almost 20 years, right?
Yeah, no,
So
it's a long time.
we go from Ralph, you know,
Mhm.
to, I think your first one was like Ralphie's,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
and then Kiddish,
Uh-huh.
and then
Yeah.
right, right, and then Baby Snazzy. So like, talk me through all of those seasons and how, or even why you've had to reinvent yourself creatively. Because I feel
Yeah.
like, for me at least, watching from the outside, it's like each of those different names is a different kind of, not necessarily a different personality, but sort of like a different stage in your evolution. So like, yeah,
Yeah. For
talk me through
sure.
that.
100. So, Ralphie's, Ralph, that's like the organic me. That's like, I don't know, you call it I'll put it in quotations, like the virgin me. He don't know what the fuck is going on. He's
Right.
fluffing around everywhere like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. It's like there's no, like a sense of direction, but there is like a nice, beautiful light that he's heading to. Like, you know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
the journey continues. Like people get to know Ralphie as like this little boy, this like, like his flaws and stuff like that, what is good at, what is terrible at, and
Yeah.
where he's trying to get to. And then you get Ralphie's who then basically definitely steps into the creative zone. You feel me? And that's like it's a very small transition from like, Ralph to Ralphie's. And, around
Mhm.
then essentially I'm definitely still trying to find myself like as a as like a call it an alter ego name or something like that, like an
Mhm.
online digital presence. And I'm
Mhm.
doing it, I'm doing photography, I'm connecting, and that's how people know me. And it feels so good too, because,
Yeah.
it's very much closely to my name and I'm loving it for sure. But that's like a period of, after exploring, it's kind of like going back to the same roads, except this time you have a better GPS. Like, like if I go here, this is the way, except this
Yeah.
time I'm moving as like a brand. So it's like the first time you are a brand. And then like you mentioned kiddish. Now kiddish is generally when I do step into like, releasing music. Like I'm trying to make music. I'm telling you, the music that I'm making on my days. I was listening to it the other day. I was having a laugh. I couldn't
Yeah.
write,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
couldn't do nothing. It was just melody sort of things. And now, see, Kiddish is was very inspired by two artists, really. It was inspired by Kid Ink, because this is an era when Kid Ink was just popping, and it was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
is this man? Like, it's so cool. Like, it's still cool too. And then, Childish Gambino was popping too. I'm like, yo,
Okay.
Childish. I'm like, stuff it. You know what? I like
Yeah.
both of these
Yeah.
artists, so I'm gonna call myself Kiddish, and that's me getting into the whole musical side of things, and I'm having fun with it. I'm making skits. I'm making music. Apparently, I'm trying. It's the first time using my vocals, but that happens. And that era didn't last for that long. I just simply felt like I wasn't really myself. Like it felt like I was replicating two people and trying to be two people. And I'm thankful I went through that journey at a really young age, anyways.
Right. Right.
And then, of course, we go on to being Bby Snazzy, and this is when I'm like, yeah, I really truly know exactly what I want. I know, like, if I can be myself and this is what people can appreciate, and even if they don't, it's okay. I know that at least
Yeah.
somebody out there is like, wow, this person is so real, and they make me feel like I want to be real. And that's like the whole the whole energy that I'm trying to show, the whole energy that I'm trying to give out without even trying. But like I want people to at least perceive it that way in a sense. So
Mm.
that's Bby Snazzy. And now we're talking fashion, we're talking music videos, photography, just anything like creative related that I can resonate with. I'm there. We there.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And man, like I have to give you your flowers, bro. Like you've got a fantastic eye and a fantastic mind for this kind of
Wow.
thing. Like
Thank you. Thank you.
anyone, like, bro, like I still, our photo shoot from 3 years ago is
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
it's still making rotations on my Instagram. It's still my artist profile and all that kind of stuff. But like, even sometimes I think about the time, and this is Ralphie's kiddish days. Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
man
of
made a
course,
song
of
called
course.
XXI.
Yeah, I remember that track.
And even like, when I think about that track, bro, like I mean, no disrespect, but like you weren't saying anything. Like that song is not about in the best way possible. Like that song is not about anything. That's just you like having
Yeah.
fun with music, right?
100. Yep.
And even the music video, like the music video ain't about. I have like a 2-second cameo in that, by the way. Your music video ain't even about nothing. Like you. And at first, I remember listening to the song at first. This was before it came out, and like when we were doing the music video and everything, I'm like, this song ain't about nothing. Like this man ain't saying shit. Like,
Yeah.
but then like on the day of the shoot, I was like, yo, this is just vibes. Like we're here just vibing. And I also so like I have to give you your flowers because like, you know, you have such a great mind and a great ear and a great eye for all of this, for all of these things, man. So it's really like cool to just see your evolution up close. Again, like I said, I'm one of the few people who get to know you personally and professionally. So
Yeah.
I love that for you. And also, funny enough, I think it's through you, and I'm kind of leading into how you build community around you, but like it's through you that I've gotten to meet some really cool people who are now like, you know, who I consider friends or colleagues or like acquaintances or even just happy to have met them once off. But like, I think I met Mickey at that XSI shoot. I met Jamie Rose and like, you know, love Jamie. Who else? I met Tiger. I met Craig Easto through you.
Yeah, he was a little tiger back then
He
too.
was a
So I
little
know,
tiger.
yeah. Of course.
I met him through you. Like I met so many like dope people who are in now like my creative world.
Yeah.
Through you.
Yeah.
And so that's why when I was kind of writing this episode, I was like, man, how do I even describe this guy? And the word that came to mind was social-preneur.
God
right?
damn. God
Social-preneur. And I think the easiest way to describe it, and I don't even know if the word exists. Maybe I made it up. I need to trademark it. Or maybe I didn't. Let me not say nothing. Yeah, why I kind of landed on social-preneur is like you have this entrepreneurial mindset of creating things, of building something. The social side is like, you know, how you build, I guess, people around you. And so like your brand, right? Your brand, that's the entrepreneurship. Your brand is really being a man of the people. That's the social side. So like, yeah, what does that kind of mean to you when I say you're a socialpreneur? Like what does your personal brand and how you build community around it, what does that mean to you?
Oof. Yes. I mean, it's a new word and I love it. I got to learn how to pronounce it. That's number one. And I got to learn how to spell it. So that's number two. But
yeah, I don't even know how to spell it, to be honest with you.
yeah. Look, social, what again?
Socialpreneur.
Okay, socialpreneur. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Oh, like I mean, you're very, very correct with what you're saying, and you know, I really, truly do agree. You know, with the fact that like a lot of the times I'm constantly trying to connect people. I'm constantly trying to bring at least where I'm from, like Brisbane, the city, like all the creatives. It don't matter like age or gender and stuff like that. We like everybody that has the same creative mindset. Like, as long as you're creating, like pop in, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, right? Somebody else could have certain limitations, and just somebody else being there will help amplify. And then this is how people bond. You know, I personally have put together even upcoming producers and stuff with artists, with like rappers. And, I always tell people, bro, pay attention to this person and, just watch. And crazy, a couple, even like 7-8 months later, bam, a song or something drops. And it's like the two people are put it's like, I, you know what I'm saying? And I love that. I really do love that, It brings the culture. We all keep growing. Everybody keeps growing. And, it's about accepting and like being really open-minded and, none of these like, being, exclusive and excluding people. No, not about that. That's the whole idea. And this is when, the Never Home Clique comes in, and it's a brand of its own that is there to, nobody's home. We all outside somewhere creating, like, nobody's home. And when we're all outside, we're all a family,
Yeah. And why, I guess, why is community so important to you and your journey?
community is really important to myself and the whole process of the journey because, that's what I eat.
Yeah.
They keep inspiring and, we keep bouncing ideas and energies and like they keep showing me new people and, I keep introducing them. It's a network sort of thing. And, when crazy things are happening, we all support each other. And when we see
Yeah.
somebody, even if they're going through a rough patch, we there to like, still bring them up. And that's the importance of community. It's like, call it like therapy in a way, but also a holiday at the same time. Like, it comes with all the perks. You know what I'm saying? Something
Yeah.
bad happens, community is there for you. Something good is happening, they're there to clap hands and they're there to, amplify whatever is going on, introduce you to new people that can continuously keep elevating you.
Yeah. Because would you say like, I guess an extension of that, like, you being such a collaborator, has that accelerated your growth,
For
both
sure.
personally and professionally?
100%. Yeah, for sure. In many
Yeah.
different ways, meeting new people that I never knew existed. And it's like, where
Yeah.
were you? Like, I needed you the most before and now you're at the right time. Like,
Yeah.
of course, of course. And, being, like I said, being introduced to certain things, certain brands, certain events, cool people, cool vibes, good energy.
What's one collaboration that you say has like, completely changed your perspective?
One collaboration that I feel like has completely changed my perspective. I believe it'll have to be, a collaboration between Bby Snazzy and Gold Coast Swim Week 100%.
Yeah.
I think, I love Gold Coast Swim Week. Shout outs to, Jasmine Jenner. Like, she really did see the vision when I was little, like when I was young, and she really mentored me and, pushed me to like the deep, to the deep side of everything. And it's like, boom, yep, you got to deal with this and that and that. And it was like, wow, okay. And,
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
really just had to, again, be myself. And if you like it, that's good.
Yeah. So actually let's touch on that. So tell me about, you know, what it is you have been trying to kind of build with the Never Home Clique, but also and then leading into like your work with projects like the Gold Coast Swim Week.
Mm-mm. Yo, so, I'll give you a bit of a, backstory about the Never Home Clique. It came out around 2000 and I believe it would have been like 2014. And how it happened, I was outside like usual. And, I figured I just hadn't been home in days, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, God damn. And I was with the crew and I said, you know what, boys, listen, we are the Never Home Clique at this rate. Like, everybody that's out here is not home. Like, what are we talking about? So now,
Yeah, for anyone who's a groovers, the statement Asifu Nikulala Makaya was made about this man right here. which
my days.
which translates to, we don't sleep at home. That's
But yeah, so the Never Home Clique, essentially it was a clothing brand, and the whole idea again, it was to create that community, bring anybody that's outside so we all feel like we're at home outside, like we outside but like somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
what we all trying to build is, like again, a community where everybody, it doesn't matter where in the world, just feel included, feel like when you're out there, because at the end of the day, when people create, their stuff isn't really created to just be at home and not be seen. It's created to go outside. Just
Yeah.
never home. Like whether you paint, take a digital photo, post it on the gram, TikTok, whatever, it's not home anymore. We all can see
Yeah.
it now. And, it's to create that safe space, that space where you feel included at like whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. And, being able to also like a place where we can also support creators, like, you're an artist, okay, bad, like you're a DJ, like,
Yeah.
TNHC, which is the Never Home Click, has evolved to the whole thing of, running events. So you're still looking out for DJs, like pull up, okay,
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
be an
Yeah.
event photographer, that's creativity, come through, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Oh, you're a dancer, okay, we'll have you on show, we'll have you on board, do your art, do your thing, like, you know what I mean? It's a place where you feel like you're at home.
Yeah, for sure. And then so like how did that, opportunity with Swim Weeks sort of come about? And what's been exciting about working with them?
For sure. Like, the opportunity was it's amazing how like sometimes things just come out of the blue, like just randomly. So I was chilling, and keep in mind that like me and the Gold Coast founders, like we've been homies since like I think it's like close to a decade now. So we
Yeah.
known each other creatively like that. Like I done photo shoots for them, in Sydney, like nationally and stuff like that. And when there was like shows happening here, I was been there, you know what I'm saying? Like as a friend and stuff like that. So when the startup of Gold Coast Swimming was happening, it was,
Mm.
as grabbing all the all the people that they know what they're doing creatively, bringing them in. I was so lucky to be one of those people, being able to just be there. I thought I was gonna chill, watch a whole show. No, no, there was plans there that I didn't know, and
Yeah.
suddenly, I'm like, being a host, really doing the interviews, seeing how everybody is doing, how everybody is dressed up, like how we feeling today, making sure the energy is top tier, top notch. And that's how the collaboration started. And it truly has evolved over the last couple of seasons. We got season 4 coming out, and there's a lot for it.
Yeah. I think what I love about you, man, is like you've really built a brand around yourself where now it's like, oh, when Ralph is in the building,
Yeah.
yeah, he's doing what he loves, but he's making some money. Like he making money. You've be, you've become a business. You've essentially become a business, and like power to you, man. Because like
Thank you.
I think
Thank you.
it's something that people maybe struggle to do is like, how do I turn something I love into something that pays the bills? So like,
Mhm.
when did that happen for you? At what point did your creative blend become more than, oh, this is something that I love to do, and become where you're like, oh, I can actually pay some bills doing it? Because
Yeah, yeah,
let
yeah,
me let
yeah.
me tell y'all, man, this man bought a boat. Like is
Yeah. Oh my.
But you know what I mean? Like you kind
Yeah.
you sort of monetized your personal brand. So like tell us about it.
Yeah, like, it's all about love. That's the truth, And like if you go into something thinking, okay, I want to do this just for the spotlight or whatever, and this is what you're gonna get sick of it, and I promise you. And that's because you're not entirely doing it out of your heart, or like out of an angle where you can see like the vision and what you're trying to show to the people. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're doing it
Yeah.
because you're just thinking of the dollar. And, the crazy thing is I wasn't chasing the, getting paid. If anything, I started off doing like free photo shoots for like top tier models, right? I was reaching out. And like because of that, like doing it out of luck, bro, I was traveling like Gold Coast, Sunny Coast, taking flights and shit for free.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because I wanted to build that portfolio. I didn't know you could actually make money out of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Then it slowly translated when people see that person's work. Now they're hitting me. How much do you charge? And it's like, wait, I can charge?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what it is. Oh, I can charge? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's basically how it transitioned. And I'm so blessed that, I wasn't really in it for the cash. But like now that when people see my work, now they add value to it at least. And, I'm amazed. I was amazed. I was really young when that happened, couple of
Yeah.
photo shoots and suddenly bling, bling, bling. It's when Graham was like taking off, popping and how much are you charging for a photo shoot? I'm charging?
And I mean, like, it's very easy to say yes to money, but like, have you ever had to turn down an opportunity because maybe it didn't align with your vision or like your values or anything like that?
Uh, well, no, I haven't had to turn down a photo shoot or anything like that. I'm very much always like there to listen to exactly what the person wants. Because at the end of the day, we're creating, you know what I mean? And like your vision, there's no such thing as a dumbass vision. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
I can't see it. So I'm gonna try and see it from your perspective. So I've never said no to anything. I've done, pulled through. And one thing for sure, if like a model or a client is not happy, I've always been happy to be like, "Come, we'll do it again." Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
okay. We'll try again. It's not the end of the world. We can try something different.
Yeah. So I guess, with with everything that you do, man, like I think like I said, you've always got people around you, and again, it's not out of a you being lonely or you trying to like not be by yourself. It's really about building this community and building this ecosystem
Mm,
of
mm,
creatives. What's
sure.
something you say, like, what's something you've noticed about spending so much time with people, whether it's observing them through a lens or spending time with them in the studio or anything like that?
Something I have definitely observed about people is, understanding. Yeah, for me, like it's 100% like understanding who they truly are deep inside and what they are afraid of showing to the world. And I always try and push people like, you want to know what the fuck is gonna haunt you when you die? Yeah, that little voice say you should have done that, and you don't want that, so start doing it. Go hard.
Yeah.
And I'm very observant that way. Like if you're looking a little bit like, do you want to do something? I'm there to just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Push.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
No,
So
and you're right, because I've experienced that from you. You're someone who told me you were like, stop sleeping, man, stop lacking. Like, yeah. So I, I see
we're not lacking.
that. But I guess you're someone who essentially helps people tell their own story. You're someone
Well,
who, whether it's through the photography, the videography, the music,
mhm.
you're always constantly helping people tell their story. So my question is, who tells your story besides me on this podcast? Who's telling the story of Baby Snazzy? And what
Damn.
do you want that story to be?
I think, you know, the there's more than one person that's telling the story. I think it's everybody that I've interacted with. They all have, somewhat of a version of me. And, that's something that they get to share with everybody else out there. And like, everybody that I've, been in contact with, anybody that I've met or interacted or worked with, they got a story to tell just as much as I do too. But I feel like every single person that I've crossed pathways with and we really clicked, and even if we didn't really have a conversation, just that just being physically close to each other and having even a I don't know, like just a look in the eye and that's it. And I feel like they still got a story to tell.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can appreciate that. But man, so like I want to switch gears just a little bit,
Mm,
I want to talk about the music thing a little bit.
sure.
When you're making music, where are you at now with your music creatively? What are you
Creative.
expressing through your music?
Wow. Yeah. I've been having this conversation a lot in my head lately. Because like I've dropped 3 singles with the exclusion of XXI, because that's a whole different era. But but over the last 12 months, really 3 singles out, and right
Yeah.
now I'm really getting people. I'm really trying to get people to understand like the evolution of like love, lust, trust, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And like obsession, it's all about love at the moment, and I'm really trying to create a vision where you can sort of like I feel like I'm giving away too much, but I want people to be able to listen to the music, put it all together, and realize, oh shit, we're heading
There's a
somewhere
bigger
here.
story. Yeah,
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 what's
yeah,
going
yeah.
on? You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's where
yeah.
I'm at musically. Still more music coming out, and we'll see what's up. There's a lot coming out, 100% a lot coming out.
That's dope. That's dope. So break it down for me. Across everything you've done, across
Mhm,
everything you do, sorry.
mhm.
What is one key lesson you've learned in everything that you do? So whether it's in photography or videography, whether it's in creative direction, whether it's in music, anything else that you want to talk about, like what is one key lesson that you've learned in your journey?
Yeah, one solid key lesson that I feel like I have learned throughout this whole creative journey, with the combination of photography, music, and stuff like that. It's being true to yourself. It's being true to yourself, 100% being true, because you get to look at that version and feel good. Like, yeah, you know what? That's true. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just being
yeah,
so
yeah.
honest and falling in love with the stuff that you love doing.
Yeah.
That's
I like
that's
that.
yeah,
I like that. Falling in love with the stuff that you love doing. That's a
for sure.
powerful message right there.
Yo,
So 5 years from now, what do you hope people will say about the impact you've had?
5 years from now, I was able to put relationships together, build a community together. We all created a place that is so safe, and I made it, I made everybody realize that we are never home. We're all a family out there. We're all a family somewhere. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that's exactly what I would hope people get to see. And after all that, at least, just test out some of the art that we've all created out there. Follow a story, see what's happening, feel inspired, be yourself.
Yeah. So when people hear the name Bby Snazzy, what do you hope they think of first?
First, fashion,
Fashion.
fashion, fashion,
Okay.
fashion.
Why fashion over the others?
It's the first language that everybody speaks without actually vocally talking just yet. And it's truly what opens up a lot of doors based on how you're dressed.
I hear that. I hear that. Yo, Bby Snazzy, man. Nah, bro. Like I said, I've given you your flowers, and I always will. But like, I appreciate you. You're someone who has always been someone who I look up to, even though you're young. I mean, we're the same age, but like, I'm a
Yeah, of
couple months older,
course.
but like, you're someone I admire, and you're someone I adore. Like, you're like a brother to me, man. And so, like, I love the footprint that you're leaving on the world, and I feel like a lot of people haven't always understood it. So I hope anyone who's watching, anyone who's listening to this has gotten a little bit of a peek behind the curtains, because like I said, you're a man of mystery, man. And I know that sometimes that's intentional, sometimes it's unintentional, but like, yeah, I definitely think your story is one that is going to make a large impact on the world.
Damn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I was just thinking like, you and I have worked a lot together in the past,
Yeah.
photography, and then you were modeling actually. I was the photographer. And of course, like when you had your live gigs, like you're one of the first few people that I shot live on stage, that. And that
Yeah.
that was of course, I'd still get the nerves like, damn, I don't want to screw this. You got to hold it. Like, you're doing the same thing. You're bringing the vibes together. You introduced me to, the Mufara band. The Mufara band, was it? What was it called?
Yeah. Man, that band has gone through many
Yeah,
many
yeah.
a name change, but yeah,
Of
yeah.
course, being able to see somebody like yourself, pull together like a band, like that's a very rare thing in our days. And I wish you bring it back, which I know you
Yeah.
will. And having you at some of my shows, you did the emceeing and you were there, you really turned up. Mama Beats back in the day. So like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
have a lot that is happened. And right now, being at your show, I'm so thankful, being able to tell my story. So thank you so much for having me.
Of course, man. Of course, bro. But hey, before we do wrap things up, we're gonna play a little bit of rapid fire. So I ask every guest on before we take off the same three questions. Don't even think about it. Just the first answer that comes to your head. You ready?
Yeah. Like days, I'm always ready.
All right, my boy. Let's see. Okay. What is something that you would do again?
Something that I would definitely do again is why you gotta put me on the spot like that without
You
thinking?
see?
So
He said he's always ready.
I'm
He said
always
he's
ready. I'm
always
ready.
ready.
Something that I would most definitely do again is, you know, shoot more music videos for
Yeah.
other artists,
Okay. Okay.
for
On the
sure.
flip side, what's something you would never do again?
Something that I would never do again is definitely, 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 definitely never do it again.
Is this you thinking? You just you're just stalling at this point. This man said definitely.
Something I
Definitely.
would definitely never do again. Wow. I really have to be honest with you. I've enjoyed every single part of everything so far in this journey. So,
Yo.
I have no answer for that one.
Okay, he pleads the fifth. He pleads the fifth. And you know what? That's fair. That's fair. And like, I think you're only the second person who's had that answer. It's like, yeah,
Facts.
I'm happy with
Wow.
life. I ain't got nothing that I won't do again. So I can appreciate it. I can appreciate it.
Hmm.
All right, man. So the last one is, what is one piece of advice you wish someone gave you at the start of your journey?
One piece of advice that I wish somebody gave me at the start of my journey would be to really consistently tap into, people's souls really and get to know them on a more realistic level.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that ends up building more of a connection than just a little thank you, bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
I hear that. I hear that. I appreciate you, man. I just want to say on these signature 3 questions, I love that these are the hardest questions in the podcast.
They are
Like,
definitely difficult. What are you talking about? Like, wow.
like, I really be trying to ask some deep questions. And then we get to these 3 and everyone's like, oh, man, ow. Yeah.
Bro, nobody is ready for that. Nobody is ready.
Yo, man. But Bby Snazzy, I appreciate you, my bro. Let the people know where they can find your work. Let them know where it is, what it is.
Of course, Bby Snazzy, BBY Snazzy, everywhere on all socials. It's the same. Everywhere.
Absolutely. And y'all know what we do. We put the information in the description. So make sure to check it out. Make sure you follow my bro, Bby Snazzy, and get behind his journey, because I think you're someone who is, when we talk about the launch pad, when we talk about before we take off, you're someone who's definitely on your, well along your way in your journey. So like, yeah, super excited to just see it keep going, my bro.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Of course, man. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, it's another episode of Before We Take Off. It's your boy, Mufaro, joined by Bby Snazzy. And as always, y'all are some really beautiful people. Thank you so much for listening. Bby Snazzy, thank you, my bro.
Thank you, thank you.
You know what? We gonna, we about to take off. Yeah, you know what? We about to, we about to take off.